everybody, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 4th of July. Now, if you are new, I pretty much let my guides channel through to you. I talk about the current global energies and I also discuss the Great Awakening process that is happening at the moment on a very large scale. So stay watching. There might be a message you're meant to receive today. And I just want to do a big shout out to all my beautiful subscribers, Shirley, Catherine, Lou, and all you people who wrote to me with strength and support and kindness. I really appreciate that, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody out there and for watching my channel as well. I'm very grateful to have this little community that's like our safe place where we get to support each other and we sort of understand each other's journeys, because it is quite an isolating experience what we've all been through. So I'll just close my eyes and thanks again, and we'll just get started. Yeah, the grief is pouring out. I'm getting again that visual of the cattle yards where the gate was propped open and the cattle are still escaping. It's showing me the cattle are still escaping, which is the people waking up. They're running out onto the fields, but they're also showing me like this massive flood or water that's pouring all around the cattle's feet, and this is the grief, this is the sadness, the tears, the loss. I'm definitely getting that today. The grief in these people is enormous because they now know where this is all headed. Well, they don't know all where it's all headed. They have an inkling of where it's all headed because we planted so many seeds that they're having their light bulb moments, realizing that some of this conspiracies seem to be coming true. So I'm definitely getting this grieving. They're grieving their old life. Everything seems to be going, like they would be grieving businesses, they're grieving their health. Everyone's got this grieving going on for different reasons, as we all did when we first started going through our awakening process. So the grief in these people is large, and that's why I always say to protect yourself, because there's a saying that sometimes even in men that anger is men's tears, and that's just a saying. I'm not saying every man's angry, but grief can even become anger. It can become sadness, and it can become depression. It can become so many things, but it can even become anger. So it is important to protect yourself. Even if someone is feeling depressed about where their life is headed, you don't want to get dragged down into those energies either. That's why I always have been, or not always, but that's why the last week or so we've been getting that message of staying like anonymous and just removing yourself out of that journey. Because we don't want to go through all that again. We don't want that stirring up and triggering in us our old emotions, because we've just managed, I'd say probably the last 6 months, to get a handle on our own emotional state. I'll see where else we go with this today. Now they're showing me us, and this could be in relation to the pirate sort of treasure map that we were going to make for ourselves, planning our lives out yesterday. But they're showing me we've got the periscope, I think it's called, isn't it? And we're looking through this periscope. It's very long and it's a very old-fashioned one. And we're looking out at the ships on the ocean. And it's like we're on lookout. So we could be like the lookout that's looking out for whether these ships are safe or whether these ships are pirate ships, whether they're going to be dangerous, whether they're going to bring food and supplies. We're on the lookout. Now, I would say that we're very aware that the things that come out aren't always in our best interest. Now, we've got very good at, I would say, like policing that. So we have a lookout. It's like, but the lookout to me represents like our gut feeling and our senses. We talk about that a lot on here. But when you're looking, you can tell when something's like the dark pirate ship, or something's like the ship that's going to bring you the supplies and bring you sort of joy and fulfillment. So this is what I'm kind of getting. We have this way of deciphering information. I talk about it a lot on here, that we just have this knowing. Well, that's what it is. It's like we can look through a periscope like somebody on dry land, because we're actually pretty grounded. We're standing on dry land. This is the image they're giving us of us. And we can get that information first to warn people, to let people know. We can run back up the sand dunes and tell people it's a pirate ship, everybody hide, or oh, it's supplies, quick, everybody down on the beach and we'll go get the supplies. This is the kind of imagery they're showing me. So, we're like a lookout, but we're also like a guide. And I think that makes sense to you guys watching my channel. It's like we're also guiding people. Have you looked at this? Well, have you seen this bit of information? Oh, I heard this. And it is planting seeds, but it's also guiding people with your information, because you're guiding them in a direction that their curiosity probably is what the word I'm looking for, gets the better of them, that they start to look. So we're like these lookouts, and we're like these guides who are steering or helping to steer people in the right direction. So they don't sort of, for example, come running down on the beach and go, oh, it's a ship, and then it's a heap of pirates, gets off and robs them. Well, we know government robs people all the time. But this is the example. We're like this, I guess you could call it like the go-between. We're like the go-betweens. There was a band called the Go-Betweens. They were actually really good, weren't they? Maybe we go check them out today. They had such a good beat. I remember the Go-Betweens. But this is what I'm getting. We're like the go-between between the people waking up and government, because we have this knowing and we see the truth, and we have this foresight, which is like the periscope, where we can see what's coming. It's a knowing. It's just a knowing and a gut feeling, senses. That's what we have. So I'm definitely getting that we're this go-betweens. And the guides are saying the people don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. But it's like we're the ones who originally plant the information. I'll just see what else. Gosh, this has been a tiring journey. This has been tiring. It's taken a toll on all of us, hasn't it? It's just been the most ridiculous thing. Sometimes it just does not feel real, does it? I'll see where else we go with this today. Now, the guides are showing me for us, they're showing me that we've come in now, like sort of come in from the cold or come in from the garden, and they're showing me we're hanging our hat on the hat rack. So the significance of hanging our hat on the hat rack to me means that like the day is over, or we can have some time out now. We're done for the day. There's different images. You might have different images and feelings about this as well, but hanging up your hat, it just means that you're done for today. So it's not a permanent thing. It's just you're going to have a rest, basically. So you've done your hard work. You've been out slaving in the garden or toiling in the garden or whatever you've been doing. You've been out for the day working on the land, and then you come in and you're really exhausted and you hang your hat up. And that's the energy I'm getting for us. It's important that we hang our hat up. And maybe that's to do with a lot of that energy we all felt the other day, because we are very tired. But the guides are giving us the message that it's time for us to just hang our hat up on the coat rack or the hat rack and just sit back now and chill. They're almost showing me like someone on a veranda, sitting back in a rocking chair, just rocking, perhaps having a wine. Some of us like a wine, or a cider or a beer or a coffee, and we're just rocking on this rocking chair now on a porch. You might call it a porch over there in America. And this is the image that I'm getting. It's that energy of, I guess you could say release, but it's a self-soothing. Look, I'm here rocking this chair. If you think about a rocking chair, it's somewhere that a mother will take a baby and like they will soothe that baby by rocking them, and people walk around rocking them too. But this is a self-soothing. As an adult, as you watching my channel, we have the ability now to soothe ourselves, is the message that I'm getting. We can sit back and we can just look out at the vast landscape now, and we can soothe ourselves. And what the guides are saying is that we've got the tools now. We've managed to bring our energy down. We've obviously been through the hypervigilant states, anxiety, fears, worries, concerns, griefs. We've been through all of that. And now it's time for us to hang our hat up and to just hop in this rocking chair on the porch or veranda and to actually just sit back and really take in the beauty around us, breathe the fresh air, enjoy, a cool beverage. If you're over there in the heat, you might be. You're getting given permission from the guides now to actually really sit back and enjoy your life. As much as we're kind of planning it out as well on our little treasure map we did yesterday, it's important that you take the time out to rest. And this is crucial in this process because I think it was you, Louise, mentioned being empaths. It was Shirley, I think. About being empaths, we do take on a lot of extra feelings and emotions from other people and from our environment. We actually do. And it's very hard not to. So that's why the guides are saying it's very important to hang your hat up and to have those moments where you just chill out and sit back and just watch the show unfold. We talk about the show here a lot because it's very important to stay detached from these things now. Because it's just not easy, is it? It's just not been easy to navigate this garbage. And look, it does cause a lot of frustration when you're listening to people talking about what they're going through and their ignorance to the things that are happening around them. Someone on here was telling me how people have got jabbed and then they've had side effects, but they don't sort of piece things together. It's like the most stupidest thing we've ever heard, isn't it? It's like there's no logic in any of what is going on still. So whether there's still little subliminal implanted seeds from the mass psychosis, sometimes I really wonder that myself, because people say things and you just kind of look and go, huh? Like how do they not think that's really weird? Like, how do people, even here I talk about the Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber, two young, we would think healthy people. One had a blood clot and one's got the facial paralysis. Like, to all of us it's like, huh? Like, why is no one seeing that? Oh, that's very strange, isn't it? But it's very hard to understand, isn't it? So that's why it's very important that we just kind of listen and just keep protecting ourselves. And that's why it's so important, I said the other day, to stay anonymous during all this absolute ridiculous madness that's going on. So find that little spot in your rocking chair and self-soothe yourself. I mean, it might be that you go get a massage. You can do so many different things. But that's just the image of that rocking on the porch. And it's almost like, for you, Chris, isn't it? It's like getting back to you were talking about the horse and cart days the other day. It's like getting back to those old-fashioned simple things that can help us to cope in life. It's like a farmer at the end of a hard day. They always sit on their porch and look at the crops they've put in and what their achievements are. And maybe that's the message today, that we as people who are fairly removed from all this narrative now, it's important that we look back. And this is maybe that message as well about the looking back in order to move forward that I got the other day. It was a little confusing, that statement, wasn't it? And we talked about the vintage and looking back at things, but it's also, that's what I feel like they're saying to me, is we've got to look back at how far we've actually come and how much stronger we feel and how we've grown as a person. And all those things that we've been through in the last couple of years weren't small hurdles to overcome. They were huge hurdles. To be pushed out of your society, not being allowed to go out, not being able to go and get a coffee. These were major things that affected all of our life. Not to be able to visit family and friends, even if they were sick and dying. Like, what even is that? So we have to look back in order to look forward, because it's like the farmer on the porch. He's looking over all his achievements on his paddock, all the crops he's grown and what paddocks he's just planted and all the achievements. This is what the guides are saying to me. It's you've put in the hard yards now, and it's time for you watching my channel to sit back and just relax and chill out. And that's the message I'm going to leave you with today. It's time for us all to chill out. That sounds like a very good plan, doesn't it? I don't think I'll have any trouble doing that today. So look, please take care, everybody. I love hearing from you guys. I know a lot of you out there are going through the same sort of experiences that I am, and it's just so beautiful to share, isn't it? As you can see here, I have my little vintage jug collection for anyone out there. I know a few of you are into your vintage shops. And I will say goodbye from Australia. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Hit those like buttons, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care, everybody, and have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye from Australia.